Okay, so we are on page 4, I believe. Check. It's page 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are on page 4. So graphing the solution. So we are going to put this into slope-intercept form. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to find that boundary. So that's when we change this to an equal sign. So 4y minus 3x equals 12. Solving for y to put it in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to add 3x to both sides. I have 4y equals 12 plus 3x. And divide every term by 4. So y equals 3 plus 3/4 x. So that creates your boundary line. So my y-intercept is 0, 3, and my slope is 3/4. So 0, 3, slope of 3/4 means up 3, to the right 4, or I could have gone down 3 and to the left 4, and I could do that over and over. So before you zip your line in there, go back and check. Well, this is going to be a dotted line because it does not have the equal to part. It's going to be dotted. And then I'm going to check to see what half of my plane gets shaded by plugging in 0, 0. So if I put a 0 in here and a 0 in here, I end up with 4 times 0 minus 3 times 0 should be less than 12. Is 0 less than 12? This is true. So this side are my solutions. So my shading, I'm shading the true side. Given the graphed inequality at the right, this is number 17, is 4, 1 a solution? So order pair of 4, 1 is right there. It is not in the shaded region, so it is not a solution. Order pair of 2, 5. So 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is right on the line. But because it's right on the line and this is not a solid line, this is not equal to. So this is also not a solution. 1, 4 is in the shaded region, so this is yes. And you can follow your answer key for the explanations because this is, I'm reading it right off the answer key. And then write the inequality represented in the graph. So much like what we did up here, we needed the equation and we needed to pull out the slope and the y-intercept. So I'm going to find the slope and the y-intercept from this graphed equation for graphed inequality. So it looks like my y-intercept is right there of 0, 1. And my slope is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So a slope of 4 over 2, which is the same thing as 2 over 1. So if I think about it, it's going to be y, some sign, not equal to, so some sign of my slope, so 2x and a positive 1. I got to figure out what this is going to be. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in 0, 0. So if I plug in 0, 0 to this, I need 0, 0 to be false or not true. So if it's true, I'm shading or I have the sign going the wrong way. So I'm going to say that it is less than. We'll see what that does. So is 0 less than 0 plus 1? Is 0 less than 1? Is 0 less than 1? That is true. So this should be the true side. Well, it's not. So I need to make it false because this is true. So that means my sign is going the wrong way. So y should be greater than 2x plus 1. Let's try 0, 0 because it should be not true. If I put a 0 in here, 0 is greater than 0 plus 1. Is 0 greater than 1? That is not true. So I am shading the true side, so this is correct. And I know that it's going to be not the equal to because, again, it is a dotted line. Graph the inequality for number 18. So the first thing I'm going to do is clear this fraction out. So I can do that by multiplying every term by 2. The whole purpose of doing this is so that these 2's cancel out. So I end up with 6x minus 4 minus, this is now going to be a 10 greater than or equal to, this is now going to be an 8x and a minus 2. So it says graph the inequality, so I'm going to go ahead and change this to an equal sign and solve. So I have, combining some like terms, 6x minus 14, I'm going to say equals 8x minus 2. And then I have, I'm going to subtract 6x on both sides. So I have negative 14 equals 2x minus 2. I'm going to go ahead and add 2 to both sides. Negative 12 equals 2x. And then divide both sides by 2. And I have x equals a negative 6. So remember, that is creating or finding our boundary point. So on a number line, I know it's going to be a number line and not on a coordinate plane because there's only one variable. There's no x's and y's. So I have negative 6 and I have 0. Go back to the original. It's going to be a closed circle on negative 6. And just like before, I'm going to try 0, 0. So I'm going to go back to the original and have 0 minus 4 divided by 2 minus 5 should be greater than or equal to 0 minus 1. I end up with negative 2 minus 5 is greater than or equal to a negative 1. Negative 7 greater than or equal to a negative 1. Negative 7 is not greater than negative 1. So this is not true. So that means my shading needs to go this direction for all of my solutions. Hazel's playing games at an arcade where the machines take tokens. She can afford to buy up to 63 tokens. So up to 63. Skee ball, which is X, requires 1 token per game. And pinball requires 3 tokens per game. Okay, so she can use up to 63 tokens. So it says skee ball is the number of skee ball games. And then P is the number of pinball games. So I know that 1 token for skee ball, so 1x, plus every 3 tokens for my pinball game has to be up to 63 tokens. So I cannot go over 63 tokens. So this has to be less than or equal to the 63. Okay, and that concludes that page.